So good morning once again, everyone. So this morning we are going to have our short background or short discussion on research. So as you can see here, this word is composed of two sections. So we have here re and search. I know this is very basic, no? When we say re, the prefix means again and again. So we have to do it again and again, all over again. Now, search means to find out something. We will find out something new, upgrade our body of knowledge, basta we need to find out something. It includes collecting, organizing, and evaluating data, for example, that is relevant into our field of interest. And then research, if it's put together, it is called as systematic review or systematic approach concerning generalization and the formulation of theory. So doing research, guys, is helping the community address something that is relevant, such as urgent problems or um, policies that needs to be upgraded. So it is a systematic way to address problems or address concerns in our surrounding. Okay, so that's the basic function or the basic background of research. Technically, we have different types of research. So we can categorize it according to three types. So we have here purpose, process, and outcome. So these are three categories to help us understand examples or different types of research processes. So let's begin first with research that is categorized under purpose. So we have this descriptive research, analytical research, exploratory research, and predictive research. Okay, so I know some of you might be familiar with the different terms presented here. So I will just discuss shortly these different types of research according to purpose. So let's begin first with the descriptive research. So when you say descriptive, it is from the word describe. So it is used to describe, or it includes fact finding, description of different facts or different kinds of inquiries, such as answers to the questions what, why, when, who, how. So answers to these questions provides description that is under descriptive research. The main aim of descriptive research is to give us description of a characteristics of a certain event, certain phenomena at our present time. So the description of these different phenomena may be different from way before, from the past, and from today. So there would be different experiences or descriptions. So this research has no control over the variable, only have to report what is currently happening. So it just provides us the answers to what, why, when, who, and how. That's it. So for description in quantitative manner, researchers might use frequencies, averages, in order for them to process data according to statistical calculation. But there is another type, we call it qualitative type of descriptive research, wherein descriptions are presented not in numerical value, but using experiences, description of experiences. So this descriptive research is a method that might involve survey, or it might involve interviews. So it can be comparative with different groups of interest, or you can do correlational. Okay, so this can be this is the main type of research that we are going to use at this time of online distance learning. Okay, so the other one here, we have the analytical type of research. Okay, so our analytical type of research mainly carry out analysis of phenomena which involve secondary data. So what are secondary data? So these are data from previous researches. So analytical research may involve systematic review or literature review. So the aim of this type of research is to understand also phenomena from the secondary data and discover and measure the relationship among these discovered data. So the researchers, you yourself can do this analytical research, such as the literature review or systematic review. You will use readily available articles online, and then you are going to use and follow processes, or the for example the Prisma flowchart, in order to critically evaluate the context of this secondary data. So it works with constraints variable, and it also applies, or it also tries to explain existing state of the phenomena available through secondary data. So in our ODL, online distance learning, this one is also feasible right now. Now, the next kind of research according to purpose is our exploratory research. So exploratory research is a design conducted about a research problem when there are few or no studies before it. From the word explore, meaning to say you will be one of the first to dig up about this problem. This can be done in our time right now, given the correct process or the correct research design. Okay, so if you have you have identified a new problem in your community where no one or only few has been doing some research on it, then you can do exploratory research. So your purpose from the word itself is to explore this new phenomena. So your focus is to gain insights and familiarity for later investigation. So your undertaking is to start preliminary stage of investigation. So you will gather information that will help define a problem and suggest a hypothesis. So in context to our pandemic right now, when we begin dealing with the SARS-CoV and we're dealing with what is the best standard of care, that itself, those researchers try to do exploratory research. So they were the ones who started researching, exploring what is the best standard of care. Now, exploratory research, it commonly uses unstructured interviews because you don't want to be limited with the information that you can get. So it also involves generation or creation of new ideas, assumptions, development of tentative theories. Of course, it should be tentative because the research is just starting out. That is why when we have, or the scientists have found out that this drug is good for this population with COVID-19 infection, later on there would be updates. So it is very important for us healthcare practitioners to be abreast with the new findings about this topic. So you can also generate hypotheses, but conclusions can be drawn later on after future researchers or after a few more research and techniques is being done. Okay? So that is for exploratory research. The next one, according to purpose, is the predictive research. So its studies determine frequency with which something occurs or its association with something else. So predictive research can be also called as diagnostic research, where you want to measure accurately or you want to test methods if it is or it can predict something. So statistical tools used in this research includes tools such as regression, our linear regression, and logistic regression. So this purpose, predictive of this research according to purpose is to predict or to diagnose something on business, on marketing, or in our setting, it will also be applied in clinical trials too, or our pharmacokinetic researches where we want to predict our model to represent accurately the body and the drugs that is being studied. Okay. Aside from pharmacy, it can also be applied to different researchers in government setting, in policy making, if policy is effective. So if predictive research is done, if the framework or the policy imposed to the people is being effective or efficient. Okay, so these are the different types of research according to purpose. So we have again descriptive, analytical, exploratory, and predictive.